On the homepage at gymnasion.net, I talk about routines, diet, exercise, and how you can use these tools to live a life of health and fitness. This stuff is really important and sits at the foundation that everyone should be addressing when living a healthy life. But honestly, this is just the acceptable shop window for a much larger thing that I want to inspire you into. Something that's hidden and deep and complicated. But I hope to explain myself here, at least a little bit, so you can see why I care about this stuff so much and maybe get you to care about it too. If we delve into what it means to be fit and healthy, when all the definitions start coming together, it starts to get kind of vague. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's like this. When you look at an object, you can only see one side of it at a time. Maybe two if you have a mirror. You can never see every side of the object all at once. But you know it's all there because you can look around the object and experience it from all these different sides at different times. Also, an object might be used in lots of different ways, or fit into lots of different environments, or take lots of different forms, depending on who views it. So the object isn't just all these sides, but also all these situations. And by holding each of these facets of the object in mind at once, you can start to get a sense of what it really is and what it's for. By fitting these things together, we can identify a single form that ties all of these sides of the object together. But you can only see or describe one aspect of the object at a time. You can never fully grasp what the object is in its entirety. Every object, therefore, has a kind of hidden form that can only really be understood after getting a real multi-dimensional experience of it. No object is one exact thing, one situation, one definite image. This is why health is difficult to define. There's a form to it that you can only really learn through experiencing these different aspects. Health is obviously about being in great physical shape, so of course it's going to look like all the normal things you associate with it when you look at the definite examples: press-ups, squats, to-do lists, meal plans, routines, diet, exercise, goals, etc. But it's not just about being in great physical shape. It's much more than that. Health is also about knowing what we truly want out of life, knowing the right way to go and the right things to value, completing the long journey and finding the path to an ultimate point where there is nowhere left to go. It's not a fixed thing we can define in any conventional way, but you know it when you see it, and you know it when you don't. It's a vibe, we experience it. Fitness, on the other hand, has a pretty concrete definition. I define fitness as appropriate action. Action which is relevant and suitable to the starting point and the goal, and in this case, the goal of health. So fitness isn't something you pursue for its own sake. It's constrained by the fittedness of the actions in relation to the goal. Fitness is defined relative to context. It isn't an abstract thing that's independent of the conditions under which it arises. Fitness is about how actions interact with their niche. So I want to invite you to explore with me what it truly means to act in a way that is appropriate to the niche goal of reaching this indescribable, multifaceted thing we call health. We start with the body, where we have the most immediate influence. We use routines, diet, and exercise to reach defined goals. But then by going through this process together with you, I hope to go further and pursue a more excellent vision of healthy living that extends out for everyone, forever. I'm building this slowly, piece by piece, but distributed across these various materials and practices and concepts. I will be encouraging you to engage with a unifying thread of understanding I want you to pick up on and follow. So I'm just going to start with 6 core ideas, which I will expand on in a series of published posts. The real world, green face meal, start with the body. For everyone, forever. The enemy is you, and a network of elites. This series will act as a kind of manifesto or an orientation for what gymnasion.net is all about. There's always more to be said and it's always going to be a work in progress, but this is my way of giving you a flavor of what we're progressing towards here so that you have enough to go on if you want to join with me on the same journey. So why gymnasion? What does that mean? Nowadays, a gym is where people go to do some resistance and cardio training and participate in sports and leisure activities. But the origins of the modern gymnasium are rooted in the schools of ancient Greece. The word gymnos means naked, and this type of school was called a gymnasion, because the attendees of these schools would train naked in the Mediterranean heat. Those schools weren't just places of physical training. The philosophers Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle all taught in a gymnasium. The training and research that was done in these places was far-reaching and included study in all aspects of a good life. This is where people learned to exist in a society in a way that was mindful and virtuous. While we no longer train in the nude these days, I still believe it is important to have an honest and unashamed approach to our self-development. Exposing ourselves to difficult work and hard truths is the first step to a better life. This is especially true when it comes to routines, diet, exercise, and realistic body goals. But getting in great physical shape is only the very beginning. Beyond this surface level, there's a much grander project, and we ought to be intentional about how the training we do in the gym translates into benefits that proliferate into our lives, and then further still into society at large. See the rest of this series of 6 core ideas and join me in exploring how the simple, practical, tried and tested fitness advice I follow reveals something deeper. Each idea shows a new and different side to what it means to be healthy. And by considering each facet, we can start to approach an understanding of what we really mean when we talk about health, and maybe even get a bit healthier along the way. How do you define health? Has getting in great physical shape taught you anything about living a healthy life in a bigger sense? Comment below or send me a message. My handle is @GymnasionUK on YouTube, Twitter, Substack, and Instagram. Like, subscribe, share, bookmark so you don't miss the next post. And take a look at gymnasion.net for more free stuff to help with your health and fitness. See ya!